Welcome back to the RideSheet tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to get you set up with your own working copy of RideSheet, something you can use to follow along with the rest of the series, demo to others, or even run as a live copy. We'll walk through making your own copy and getting it up and running. So the first thing we're going to do is browse to docs.ridesheet.org. This is where you can find documentation about RideSheet. And here on the left side, I'm going to go to the Installing RideSheet page, and I'm going to browse to creating a copy of RideSheet. And this is the link that will take me right into the public sample of RideSheet. Now, this is a view-only copy of RideSheet, so what I'm going to do is make my own copy in my own Google Drive. And I do that by clicking on File, Make a Copy, and I'm going to give this my own name. I'm just going to call it My RideSheet Test, and I'm going to put it into its own folder. So by default, it wants to put it into the root of my Google Drive. I want to put it somewhere else. So I'm going to go to my drive and create my own new folder. And just for the ease of naming it, I'm going to call it My RideSheet Folder and hit Create. And now I'm going to go into that folder. I'm going to select it, and that's now the folder that this new copy is going to be copied into. Now, that opens up a new tab with the new RideSheet in it, so I don't need this public copy anymore. I'm just going to close that up. Now, after a moment, this is going to bring up a message. Here we go. This is the welcome message for a new copy, and it says, quite correctly, it looks like you have a fresh copy of RideSheet, and it gives me instructions to set up its environment. It says to select Set Up New Installation from the New Install menu, and then grant RideSheet permission by clicking Select All, and then scrolling down and clicking Continue. And it gives me a link to that page I was on earlier about installing RideSheet. So I'm going to do that up here to New Install and Set Up New Installation. Now, the first thing I'll need to do is authorize the code to carry out this installation. So I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to want to make sure I'm really me. So I'm going to go through Google's validation process that I really do want to do this. Now, the next thing that comes up here is a message that Google hasn't verified this app. That is accurate. RideSheet hasn't gone through Google's commercial app verification process, which is designed for limited functionality add-ons and unfortunately doesn't support all the functionality and customizability that RideSheet provides. Now, to proceed, I'm going to click on Advanced, and now we get a message to continue only if you understand the risks and trust the developer. Now, since Google can't directly vouch for safety in this case, I want to take a moment and talk about how we at FullPath ensure the safety of RideSheet. The key one that I want to highlight here is openness and transparency. Because RideSheet is open source, the complete source code behind it is publicly available for anyone to read. If you have any concerns about RideSheet before testing it out, we encourage you to review its source code before proceeding. The link is in the description. And with that, I'm going to click on the Go to RideSheet main to proceed. Here are the permissions it's asking for. So without going into depth, we do have all the permissions that are requested here in our documentation, and I'll show you that later so that you can look at it. But for now, I'm going to select all and hit Continue, which will get me started on the actual install process. So now we're in the install process. And step one is to establish the folder where driver manifests will be saved. So one of the key things RideSheet does is create PDFs or Google Docs of driver manifests that you can hand out to your drivers. And so to do that, we need to set the folder where those driver manifests will go. So it says we recommend that the folder be named RideSheet Driver Manifest. I'm just going to copy that folder name, and now I'm going to open up a new tab and go into my Google Drive. So let's do that now, Google Drive, and I'm going to go into my drive, and here's the My RideSheet folder that I created just a bit ago, And then inside this folder, I'm going to create a new folder. And that new folder, I'll just create it right here and give it the name that I got from RideSheet itself. I'm going to create it, and there it is. Now, I'm going to go into that folder, copy the location of that folder from the address bar of the browser, and I'm going to paste that in here. Hit OK. So that's step one. And now we're going to move on to step two, which is going to come up momentarily. There we go. Now we're going to set the folder where the driver manifest template will be saved. So the same process here. I have a suggestion for a folder name, which is RideSheet settings. I'm going to copy that name. I'm going to go back. I'm going to my RideSheet folder. I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call it RideSheet settings. I'm going to go into the RideSheet settings folder, get the address from the address bar of the folder, paste it into the RideSheet install process, and hit OK. Now, there will be a pause here while RideSheet does its work. OK. And now it says installation complete. You can now generate a driver manifest. Go to the settings folder you entered to view the manifest template and tailor it to your needs. And it gives me the address for docs.ridesheet.org. I'm going to copy that because we're going to go there momentarily. And let's go back to Google Drive and into RideSheet settings. And now there is a RideSheet manifest template. And that is something you can use to format how you want the driver manifest to look. And you're good to go. This is now a fully installed test version of RideSheet. I'm going to refresh this, and you'll see that now that everything's set up, we have the RideSheet menu, but now the new install menu is gone. And now let's go into docs.ridesheet.org and just show you a couple things. So this is where all the information about the permissions that RideSheet asks for, what they are, why they're there, and what they're used for. And along with that, I want to point out our privacy policy and our terms of service, which lay out very clearly how we at FullPath, the developer of RideSheet, how we use your data, which, to be brief about it, we just don't. We don't use your data at all. Your setup of RideSheet is entirely your own, and we don't have access to it whatsoever unless you specifically give it to us. And that doesn't happen through this install process at all. That's it. That's RideSheet. And that's how to install a new test copy for yourself. Thanks for watching, and have fun with RideSheet.